Hey there, rockers and rollers. So glad you could stop by. In this episode, we discover what an American fashion designer and a British album cover artist have in common. Saul Hudson, better known as guitarist Slash from rock and roll's legendary rock band Guns N' Roses. Sure, we are all well informed on the alcohol and drug-infused Guns N' Roses days of Slash, and the short-lived supergroup turned monstrosity we know as Velvet Revolver. And you might even be a fan, I know I am, of his more recent works with Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. But today, we talk about his first solo venture, the Santana-esque multi-singer collaboration simply entitled Slash, on Don't Miss Albums. Saul Hudson was born in Hampstead, London on July 23, 1965, but raised in Blurton, a small town in Stoke-on-Trent, until age 6, before moving to Los Angeles in 1971. His mother, Ola J. Hudson, was an African-American fashion designer and costumier from the United States, whose clients included David Bowie, of whom she also dated, Ringo Starr, and Janis Joplin. His father, Anthony Hudson, is an English artist who created album covers for musicians such as Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Of his mixed background, Slash has remarked, "As a musician, I've always been amused that I'm both British and black, particularly because so many American musicians seem to aspire to be British, while so many British musicians, in the 60s in particular, went to such great pains to be black." Following his parents' separation in 1974, Slash became a self-described problem child who would sometimes accompany his mother to work, where he met several film and music stars. He was given the nickname Slash by actor Seymour Cassell because he was always in a hurry, zipping around from one thing to another. In 1979, Slash decided to form a band with his friend Steven Adler. The band never materialized, but it prompted Slash to take up an instrument. Since Adler had designated himself the role of guitarist, Slash decided to learn how to play bass. During his first lesson, Slash decided to switch from bass to guitar after hearing Robert Wolin, a teacher at Fairfax Music School, play Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones. His decision to play guitar was further influenced by one of his school teachers who would play songs by Cream and Led Zeppelin for his students. My big awakening happened when I was 14. I'd been trying to get into this older girl's pants for a while, and she finally let me come over to her house. We hung out, smoked some pot, listened to Aerosmith's Rocks. It hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. I sat there listening to it over and over and totally blew off this girl. I remember riding my bike back to my grandma's house knowing that my life had changed. Now I identified with something. Slash joined his first band, Titus Sloan, in 1981. In 1983, he formed the band Road Crew, named after the Motorhead song We Are the Road Crew, with his childhood friend Steven Adler, who by then had learned to play drums. He placed an advertisement in a newspaper looking for a bassist, and received a response from Duff McKagan. They auditioned a number of singers, including one-time Black Flag vocalist Ron Reyes, and worked on material that included the main riff of what became the Guns N' Roses song Rocket Queen. Slash disbanded the group the following year due to them not being able to find a singer, as well as Adler's lack of work ethic compared to himself and McKagan's. He, along with Adler, then joined a local band known as Hollywood Rose, which featured singer Axl Rose and guitarist Izzy Stradlin. Following his time with Hollywood Rose, Slash played in a band called Black Sheep and unsuccessfully auditioned for Poison, a glam metal band that he later openly derided. In June 1985, Slash was asked by Axl Rose and Izzy Stradlin to join their new band Guns N' Roses. Along with Duff McKagan and Steven Adler, they played the Los Angeles area nightclubs such as Whiskey A Go Go, the Roxy, and the Troubadour, and opened for larger acts throughout 1985 and 1986. Before one of the shows in 1985, Slash shoplifted a black felt top hat and a Native American-style silver concho belt from 2 stores on Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles. He then combined the hat with parts of the belt to create a piece of custom headwear for the show. He said he felt really cool wearing the hat, and it became his trademark. After being scouted by several major record labels, the band signed with Geffen Records in March of 1986. In July 1987, Guns N' Roses released its debut album, Appetite for Destruction, which has sold over 30 million copies worldwide to date. In November 1988, Guns N' Roses released GNR Lies, which to date is at 6 million copies sold worldwide. As their success grew, so did interpersonal tensions within the band. In May 1991, the band embarked on the 2.5-year-long Use Your Illusion tour. That following September, Guns N' Roses released the long-awaited albums Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2, which debuted at number 2 and number 1 respectively on the U.S. charts, a feat not achieved by any other group, both of which are hovering around the 15 million mark in worldwide sales. In November of 1993, the band released The Spaghetti Incident, a cover album of mostly punk songs, which proved less successful at 5 million units sold than its predecessors. Slash then wrote several songs for what would have become the follow-up album to the Use Your Illusion double album. Rose and Duff, however, rejected the material. With the band's failure to collaborate resulting in no album being recorded, Slash announced in October 1996 that he was no longer a part of Guns N' Roses. Slash stated at the time, "Axl and I have not been capable of seeing eye to eye on Guns N' Roses for some time. We tried to collaborate, but at this point, I'm no longer in the band." Paul Tobias's inclusion in the band was another factor in Slash leaving, with Slash having both creative and personal differences with Tobias. However, in his 2007 autobiography, Slash stated that his decision to leave the band was not based on artistic differences with Rose, but on Rose's constant lateness to concerts, the alleged legal manipulation Rose used to gain control of the band, since denied by Rose, and the departures of Adler and Stradlin. In 1994, Slash formed Slash's Snake Pit, a side project that featured his Guns N' Roses bandmates Matt Sorum and Gilby Clarke on drums and rhythm guitar respectively, as well as Alice in Chains' Mike Inez on bass and Jellyfish's Eric Dover on vocals. The band recorded Slash's material originally intended for Guns N' Roses, resulting in the release of It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere in February 1995. The album was critically praised for ignoring the then popular conventions of alternative music and fared well on the charts, eventually selling over 1 million copies in the US alone, despite little promotion from Geffen Records. Slash's Snake Pit toured in support of the album with bassist James Lomenzo, now of Megadeth, and drummer Brian Tichy of Pride and Glory, before disbanding in 1996. Slash then toured for 2 years with the blues rock cover band Slash's Blues Ball. In 1999, Slash chose to regroup Slash's Snake Pit with Rod Jackson on vocals, Ryan Roxy on rhythm guitar, Johnny Graparek on bass, and Matt Laug on drums. Their second album, Ain't Life Grand, was released in October 2000 through Koch Records. It did not sell as well as the band's previous release, and its critical reception was mixed. To promote the album, the band, with Kerry Kelly on rhythm guitar, embarked on an extensive world tour in support of AC/DC in the summer of 2000, followed by their own headlining theater tour. Slash disbanded Snake Pit in 2002. Also in 2002, Slash would reunite with Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum for a Randy Castillo tribute concert. realizing that they still had the chemistry of their days in Guns N' Roses, they decided to form a new band together. Former Guns N' Roses guitarist Izzy Stradlin was initially involved, but left after the others decided to find a lead singer without his input. Dave Kushner, who had previously played with McKagan and his band Loaded, then joined the band on rhythm guitar. For many months, the four searched for a lead singer by listening to offered demo tapes. Eventually, former Stone Temple Pilots vocalist Scott Weiland joined the band. In June 2004, Velvet Revolver released their debut album, Contraband, which debuted at number 1 on the US charts and sold 2 million copies, re-establishing Slash as a mainstream performer. A year-and-a-half-long tour followed in support of the album. In 2005, the band was nominated for 3 Grammy Awards, Rock Album of the Year, Rock Song of the Year, and Hard Rock Performance for their Contraband single Slither, which won their first and only Grammy. In July 2007, Velvet Revolver released their second album, Libertad, and embarked on a second tour. This album didn't quite take off and only sold around 250,000 copies. During a show in March 2008, Weiland announced to the audience that it would be the band's final tour. He was fired from the band in April 2008, and Slash insisted chemical issues led to the split. The following month, Weiland rejoined Stone Temple Pilots. In September 2008, Slash began production on his debut solo album. He described the process of recording by himself as cathartic. He also mentioned working on the album gave him a chance to take a little bit of a break from all the politics and the democracy that is a band and just sort of do my own thing for a little bit. Slash's then wife Perla revealed that many different artists would appear on the album, saying it's going to be Slash and Friends, with everyone from Ozzy to Fergie. The album, simply titled Slash, debuted at number 3 on the US charts upon its release in April 2010. It featured an all-star roster of guest musicians, including Osbourne, Fergie of the Black Eyed Peas, Adam Levine of Maroon 5, M. Shadows of Avenged Sevenfold, Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead, Dave Grohl, Chris Cornell, and Iggy Pop. The album also features musical collaborations with former Guns N' Roses members Izzy Stradlin, Steven Adler, and Duff McKagan. To promote the album, Slash embarked on his first solo world tour with Myles Kennedy of Alter Bridge on vocals, who also appeared on the album, Bobby Schneck on rhythm guitar, Todd Dammit Kearns on bass, and Brent Fitz on drums. Slash opened for a leg of Ozzy Osbourne's Scream World Tour. The album was produced, engineered, and mixed by Eric Valentine. Eric started his music career as the drummer of band T-Ride and has worked with bands Smash Mouth, Third Eye Blind, Good Charlotte, and Queens of the Stone Age. Bradley Cook is credited as second engineer. Bradley has worked with Fear Factory, Dwarves, Stray Cats, Foo Fighters, and Fu Manchu, along with many others. Ron English gets credit for cover illustration. Ron has artwork on albums by Moist Boys, the Dandy Warhols, Osaka Popstar, the Electric Ghosts, and Korn. P.R. Brown is credited with design and photography. Paul has worked with Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Marilyn Manson, the Bloodhound Gang, Disturbed, The Used, and many more. Gene Kirkland also gets credit for photography. Gene has worked with Dio, Guns N' Roses, Y&T, Megadeth, Slaughter, and so many more. Slash is credited with the writing of the album, but each song is also credited to each guest singer. I will list their credits on the lyric sheets during the album portion of the video, as well as guitar. Chris Chaney is credited as bass. Chris is the bassist for Jane's Addiction, as well as an accomplished studio musician. Josh Freese is credited as drums. Josh is a Perfect Circle, Infectious Grooves, Nine Inch Nails, The Vandals drummer and studio musician. Leonard Castro is credited with percussion. Leonard is a well-used musician and has worked with a countless number of diverse artists, including Stevie Wonder, Toto, Barbra Streisand, Eric Clapton, and John Mayer, to name a few. Alyssa Park, Grace O, Julie Rogers, Lisa Liu, Maya Jasper, Mark Robertson, Sam Fisher, and Songa Lee all get credit for violin. Track 1 starts the album off with a tasty guitar lick and that luscious Ian Astbury voice. Ghost is a true rock song and a great album opener.
The ghost that hides in your soul, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll. Wind the blood on your halo, over a wound that you hide, your shadow's pride. Spin in the face of the ugly crowd, a wolf hunts you down, but you can't hide.
Our beloved creepy crooner makes his way at number 2 on the album with Crucify the Dead. Ozzy is said to have penned the lyrics after Guns N' Roses.
The fire started long ago. The flames burned out, still embers glow. So charred in black, there's nothing left to burn, to burn. We had the same dream, live life to extreme, and loaded gun jam fire rolls. The thorns are not around your head. Your ego curse you till you bled. You cannot crucify the dead. Do we again, yeah.
Fergie comes in at number 3 with Beautiful Dangerous, and let's just say I think she picked the wrong genre. What do you think?
I don't know who you are now. Mystery drenches my brain. I wanna jump deep into your cloud, 'cause something tells me it's gonna rain. I hear the thunder thumping and my heart starts jumping, and that's when I spit on the floor. Now my head's exploding and your gun is loaded, so I'm guessing I'm on a roll. Well, it's a fine time looking for a wine time, and you said, "Baby, you ready to play?" Well, come right on this roller coaster, 'cause it ain't over, it ain't over. Babylon is calling, I'm in love with all your danger, danger. We can live forever, I can be your plaguing angel, angel.
Myles' vocals at number 4 really bring Back from Cali to life, and that breakdown to end the song gets me every single time. Slash's cool walking guitar riff starts track 5's promise off right, like a nice dousing of lighter fluid, but Chris Cornell's voice is the spark that ignites the fire. Stockdale can blend his vocals so effortlessly to mimic Slash's guitar on track 6 is amazing, and I absolutely love the build-up of By the Sword.
With the horses that you ride and the feelings left inside, comes a time you need to leave all that behind. Where they claim they like to know, anyone could let it go. As they're gathering around for the last show, well, there is a reward to live and die by the sword. Where they try to complicate you, but you left it all behind. All worldly possessions, a love for recollection, and finally it's all.
Gotten, at number 7, is a gorgeous melody trapped beneath yearning and desperation. It's simply a beautiful song, sung perfectly by Adam Levine.
It's nice to see your face again. Tell me, how long has it been since you've been here? It looks so different than before. Still the person I adore, frozen with fear. I'm out of love, but I take you from the past, yeah. All out of words, 'cause I'm sure it'll never last. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been saving these last words for one last miracle, but now I'm not sure I can save you if you don't let me. You just get me like I've never been gotten before.
The hard-hitting rocker Dr. Alibi comes in at number 8. Lemmy takes no time at all in letting you know how he feels, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
I went to see the doctor. He said to bring me sick.
Track 9 is an insane instrumental from Slash, Duff, and Dave Grohl. I forget how hard Dave is on drumheads. Kid Rock holds on to track 10 with I Hold On.
I feel your comfort in my dreams. Unprotected silent screams. A light beyond your shadow beams. Still I don't know what it means. When seasons change, memories remain. I hold on because I won't let go, even though I know there's solitude below. I hold on because I can't let go, and I refuse to let the hands of fate unfold. I hold on.
Track 11 is Nothing to Say, but we all know that M Shadows has plenty to say. It's a fast, heavy, melodic head thrasher. Starlight shines in at number 12 with another Myles Kennedy fronted song. His voice is top notch, and the song reflects it.
In the distance, light is from tomorrow, far beyond yesterday. She is watching, heart aching with sorrow. She is broken as she waits, hoping when all is said and done, we'll learn to love and be as one. Oh, 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 starlight.
Rocco DeLuca's mesmerizing vocals and Slash's Spanish-style guitar add this amazing eeriness to track 13's Saint is a Sinner too.
A sinner too. It's coming for you. It's coming for me.
Iggy is, well, Iggy on the closing track of the album, We're All Gonna Die. It's a fun, danceable look at your own mortality. Slash began working on his second solo album in June 2011. He collaborated with his touring bandmates Myles Kennedy, Todd Kearns, and Brent Fitz, with the resulting album billed to Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. The album, titled Apocalyptic Love, was released on May 22, 2012, debuting at number 4 on the Billboard 200. In 2013, Slash received the award for Best Guitarist of the Year 2012 from Loudwire. Slash embarked on tour in the summer of 2014, opening for Aerosmith as part of the Let Rock Rule tour. In May 2014, Slash revealed details of his third solo album, World on Fire. The album was again billed as Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators, and was released on September 10, 2014. It debuted at number 10 on the Billboard 200 chart. Slash performed with Guns N' Roses for the first time in 23 years during the band's secret warm-up gig at the Troubadour in Los Angeles on April 1, 2016. Not in This Lifetime tour, which became a massive success, grossing over $584 million by its conclusion in 2019. The tour was shut down, as with the rest of the world, due to the pandemic. In June 2018, Slash would announce a new album titled Living the Dream to be released on September 21st, 2018. The tour for the album began in September 2018 and would continue through 2019. Former touring guitarist Frank Sidoris joined the band full-time for the recording sessions. On October 22, 2021, the release day of its first single, it was announced that the album 4 would be released on February 11, 2022 via Gibson's new record label, Gibson Records. The tour was also announced the same day, scheduled to start February 8, 2022. Well, there we have it, rockers and rollers. Not quite everything that you ever wanted to know about Slash. I could continue on and talk about his accolades and awards, his session work for other musicians, his love of film and acting, his obsession with pinball, and his published artworks. But this video would end up being an hour long, and honestly, the main focus is supposed to be his first solo record. Most of the negative reviews that I've read about the album all tend to focus on one aspect, that every song sounded catered to the singer style, so it just doesn't come off as a Slash record. I think that's the part I love about it the most. Let me explain. When Santana recorded his collaborative album Supernatural in 1999, it came off as a Santana album. Santana didn't change his style of playing, he just remained Santana and he did what he did best. The singers all catered to his playing. See, on this album, it's just the opposite. Slash let the singers remain comfortable in their own wheelhouses so that he could be challenged outside of his, and in doing so, he'd show the rock and roll world just how versatile a player he really can be. Now, I for one applaud his effort, and this album. It will forever be in line awaiting its next turn to put a smile on my face. If you have an album that you think everyone needs to hear from beginning to end, that you can sing every word to every song, and immediately start singing the next track on the album when the prior song ends on the radio, let me know about it. You could be the reason for my next video. You see the screen. I'm not a big fan of asking. It makes me feel like I'm begging for spare change. You know what to do if you like what you see and you recognize the hard work. As always, if you like what you hear, turn it up so the neighbors can enjoy it too. We'll see you soon. Take care.